My daughter went right down through there,
No.
and she was incapacitated for over a month. Have you had your tetanus shot?
Yes, I'm up to date.
Okay, good man.
Lattice there. Goodbye, Danger Deck.
Oh my gosh, Colin!
What a girl.
You're the
Thank you
best.
so much. I'm Colin Hunter. I'm a contractor who's fixing up cottage country one deck, dock, and gazebo at a time. My job is to get the build done on time so people can kick back and have fun at their cottage. This is the view that's been bringing Patrice to her cottage for 5 years. It's a simple cabin she shares with her daughter and her grandkids.
My family has just had so much fun here, and you know, cottages bring families together. That's what they do.
The deck should be the focus of the whole cottage, a place where they can relax and drink in the gorgeous view of the river.
I really want it to be a focal point in the yard because the yard is so pretty just because of the size. I need to be able to entertain, have my family in a safe place, safe environment.
Safe is the last word you'd use to describe her current deck. It's literally rotting away beneath their feet. In fact, it's already sent 2 people to the hospital.
Oh my God, well, first of all, I went through it first, and I know what it did to me, and how painful and scary that is.
The next year, her daughter fell through the rotting boards and was on crutches for a month.
I was carrying this recycling bin to the edge of the deck to put it into the shed, and literally as I'm carrying it along, I just fell right through the deck, right up to my waist. Terrible. I'm sure they could hear the scream on the other side of the water. It was awful.
It was really nasty, and I have 2 little grandchildren. I mean, just that would have been the end had either one of them gone through.
I'm here to put an end to this dangerous deck's reign of terror.
Okay, now when you come through, stay on this part because there's a beam under here.
Okay.
So it's at least safe right here.
Oh, this is pretty old.
And it wasn't done with any spectacular wood, as you can tell. What happened was we had the original eaves trough up here, and it had cracked and broken. So for years, the water, prior to me purchasing the cottage, the water would drip down and down and down. So all of those boards along that side are in fact all rotted.
Right.
So a couple of years ago, I went through, you can see, have you had your tetanus shot?
Yes, I'm up to date.
Okay, good man. Because
You need it with this deck.
I went through it and couldn't walk for 3 weeks.
Oh, no.
I know, if I could torch it, that would be great, but
Yeah, the
I
cottage
have too
is...
much invested over here.
It's a very wooden cottage.
It's a very wooden cottage. So what we're looking for here then would be a 2-tier deck. Upper tier comes out 10 feet, a couple of steps down to a same size deck, but coming out 12 feet here. Please no railings. If that's possible, it would be great not to have any railings at all. Great view here down to the water. We don't want to obstruct anything. So I think that about does it, unless you can kind of sneak in a really nice pergola too. This is the 50 year
Patrice has one other
renovating this
unique
lovely little
request.
cottage. A dear friend of mine who hasn't actually vacationed in over a decade because she has such severe mobility issues. I was wondering if there's some way of putting not a ramp here, but maybe low-rise steps. That way,
You can work your way up nice and slow without...
that's right, and make it, have a cottage vacation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Not often do I come across clients that know what they want down to the very last drop. And I gotta say, it makes it easy for me. The most difficult thing on Patrice's wish list is what she doesn't want: railings. Anytime you have a drop of more than 2 feet, you need to have a barrier so that people don't fall and hurt themselves. My solution is to lower the whole deck. The only places that will have an issue with the 2-foot drop are at either end. If we do a privacy fence on the upper deck, that'll also be a restraint so people can't fall out over 2 feet and hurt themselves. You were talking pergola, I believe.
I
So why don't we
was.
just do the whole side right up to the top of the pergola with the privacy lattice.
Perfect.
And then you have
I'd love
one
that.
closed off space, so you have some privacy, and you have
I'd
your
love
lower
that.
deck.
That'd be great.
Here's what we're going to do. There will be a couple of steps coming from the cottage down to a deck that extends out 10 feet. Then, there will be a small step down to a second deck that stretches out even further. The sides of the first deck will have lattice fencing, and the whole thing will be covered with a pergola to give Patrice and her family some shade. Before we break out the power tools and really have at this deck, we need to peek underneath that sheet metal nailed down to the decking, just in case there's any surprises lurking under the boards. Ta-da! It's like a hydro line. It's the main electric line feeding the entire cottage. That's why you don't want to just go in with a sawzall and start taking the deck apart, folks. You could run into something like this. I think that'll run more than a toaster. We'll have to be extra careful and make sure the power's off when we're cutting around this area. If I take this one off, then it'll be loose. There we go. Goodbye, Danger Deck. Yeah. Thanks, Bill. With the old rotten mess out of the way, it's time to start building. Now we've got all of our layout done, we've got the foundations poured, we've got our post saddles in, and we've started building all our beams, which are in, and now we're laying out the deck frame. We're just removing our temporary leveling posts, and we're gonna build the frame over here, nail it all together, slide it back towards the house, and then our front row hangs from these hangers. The other nice thing about that is that we're using joists that are pre-cut to the dimensions that we need. One way that we made this efficient is by not using joist hangers. Everything's sitting on the beam, so we don't have to hang the joist. The weight is bearing onto the beam. When you're doing any project, especially at the cottage, it's one of my biggest things. You gotta plan it out, because you can plan it out in the city. You can, like, when you're in the office and no one's watching, you can plan your deck build. And what you don't want to do is just come to the cottage and say, well, I've got some wood, I'm just gonna start. Because you're gonna end up probably not thinking it through, building half of something and being like, oh, it looks bigger. Plan it out, get what you need for the weekend, bang together what you can, and go have fun on the lake. Look at that, eh? Within a half an hour of the day beginning, after all your hard layout work, you've got a big old deck built.
Yep.
I think we're gonna have one heck of a happy homeowner. This is Patrice's cottage.
It's a full acre property. It's on the Muskoka River, so it's beautifully quiet.
It's the place she comes to relax and spend time with her family. Unfortunately, her deck is so rotten, it's now unusable.
Nobody has been on the deck except for, walking across this one spot.
That's because it's already sent 2 people to the hospital. We've ripped out that old deck, and now we're putting in her dream deck.
If we can get a pergola on it, that would even be better, but I don't want to be greedy.
That's good. We're almost done building the frame for the upper deck. The last step is to attach the rim joist. The nails that we're using are these super heavy coated galvanized nails with glue on them. The reason that we use those, the galvanized won't corrode and rust. And then the glue heats up when the nail goes in and then dries and stays locked in the wood. Can you push in on this? It's got a big bow on it.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna push our platform back against the wall. We held it out to assemble it so that we could use the nail gun on the far side and avoid using hangers, because $2 a hanger times 60, you know, it's a few bucks. So let's go for it, guys.
3, 2, 3.
The entire frame should fit right under the edge of the cottage, and if it doesn't, we'll make it fit. It will look like it's part of the cottage, but the whole deck system is actually a standalone structure.
Why don't you don't pinch your fingers here? 1, 2, 3. I think we made a slight mistake with the pergola rafters. They need to overhang.
Ooh.
12 footers instead of 10. The other thing we need to grab is 8 16-foot 2x8s. Hopefully you'll be back by lunchtime.
While Willie makes a run to the lumber yard, Simon and I will work on the pergola posts.
Simon's just wrapping up some of the few details there, and I am putting some nailing edges around our posts. So some people forget to do this when they're building themselves a deck, but you got to do this so that when your board comes along here, it has something to sit on. Otherwise, when you step here, this one's not so bad, but you don't want to have any loose ends that dangle, and when you step on them, they'll feel soft. This is how you build a sturdy deck. Can you measure from the joist to the soffit?
You got about 98 1/4 to the bottom of the soffit. Yeah, there's a bit of a dip.
97.5 it dips down to.
As cottages go, a roofline dip of less than an inch is pretty minor.
That makes sense, 'cause I know
When you're renovating a cottage that's crooked, you have to decide whether you want to start building stuff inside of that square and level, or whether you want it to be crooked. And it's a real call, like so. With this one, we decided this deck is not even attached to the cottage, it's independent of that, and we want the deck to be perfect.
These posts are anchored in concrete, but they're made of wood, so there's still some movement and bend in them, especially at the top.
Ready?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Making sure they're all perfectly vertical requires lots of measuring and a little bit of math.
If you measure the distance between pole A and pole B at the bottom, and then just keep a note of that reference, then we have to make, if the first post is level, then we have to make the same one the exact same distance, which would mean that's level.
Now Willie's back with the lumber for the top of the pergola, so we can go ahead and execute the plan we laid out.
All right, so you guys know how it's going. 2 2x on the front of these. These ones are sandwiched, and then we can put our pergola rafters on.
All right, Willie, 1 down, 35 more to go.
Today we're back at Patrice's beautiful riverside cottage. Her old deck was a rotting, dangerous mess. We've torn that one out and built the frame for a new 2-tiered deck. Now we need to build a very special set of stairs along the side of the cottage.
We need to have it like a easy ramp, sort of step up, and you could use your walker even if you're on it. Take a step, put your walker up, and we want this deck to be used by everyone.
Sure. Do you think 2 feet's long enough for that, or?
I know, I'm thinking maybe 4 feet, like 3 to 4 feet.
Yeah, that would probably be better.
We need a level surface to lay out the frames for the oversized steps. And around here, the only level surface is the deck frame we built yesterday.
Here comes the gun, little Simon. Here comes your nails. It's okay.
Look out, Quentin. Gonna get you. There you go.
Look at that, it's perfect.
Is it?
Yeah, it's dead on.
We've built a frame that is 10 inches deep and 8 feet long. Next, we'll add a smaller frame on top, creating 2 steps that are 4 feet each.
Beautiful. All right, so that completes our second platform. Now you can see someone with a walker could easily get up. We'll bring the grade up so it's a 5-inch step up to here, get onto here, and then it's easy to get up with your walker. Everybody can party here.
It's time to start the decking, and we have a special trick up our sleeve for this part of the project.
I made sure
The boards on Patrice's original deck had rotted through. So this time, we're going to use a new material that will never rot. It's called bale board.
What it is it's a farmer's bale wrap. You know those white marshmallows you see out in the field? That's it.
It's plastic that would have otherwise gone to the landfill.
Well, it'll outlast any piece of wood that you put on your deck. And you want to have some fun at your cottage. You don't want to be redoing it all the time. The best UV stabilizer you could ever buy is already in the product. And then it's got anti-fungi and anti-mold resistance mixed right in the plastic. And then we've got the tackiness that when you wrap it to each other, it sticks. So it's right in the product.
That's really cool.
See how flimsy it is, Colin?
Yeah.
Well, when you put this on the 16-inch centers, it's like a rock.
Installing this bale board stuff isn't any different than working with wood.
Make sure you hold it nice and tight. Ready? Beautiful.
If anything, it's easier.
Chuck said we don't have to worry about them ever expanding. We just gotta put them tight so if you're wearing high heels, you don't get tripped up. Anyways, so we'll get them in and then we'll chalk lines and we'll finish nailing them all off at the end. Assembly line. Flip this. Now the reason we're using the nails is we can't use the screws. The screws you couldn't unscrew. It's fine, you can screw it in, but then when you go to remove a board, if you need to, which we probably never will, but should you need to, you can pull the nails, will come right out, just bang them out, and you can bang the board back in by putting the nail through the same hole. So this way we're actually saving time using nails, and it actually looks good and it's going to last a long time. What we're doing here is we're building a privacy fence so that we're building one at either end of the deck so that Patrice can have a little bit of privacy at her cottage. It's also going to kill two birds, one stone, because this is almost at the height where we are required to have a railing here. So since we're going to have a wall, we don't really need a railing. Now I'm going to rest this end up on my two little screws and push this fella up here. Well, everything's progressing pretty well. The bale board is going in really easily. Just nailing it in looks great. And if everything keeps going like this, Patrice is going to be a happy lady.
When Patrice called me up and said she had a dangerous deck, I had no idea how bad it was. Turns out the deck at her cottage has sent both her and her daughter to the hospital.
She went right down through there. Wood caught her at her ankle and it didn't stop till it got to the top of her leg.
It was so rotten, they just stopped using it.
We boarded up the door. I refused, and whenever we had anyone up to the cottage, I wouldn't let anyone go out back. So we didn't use the space.
Today, they're coming back up to the cottage to see what we've created for them. That means we've got less than an hour to finish up and tidy up before they get here.
Easy-going railing for some easy-going steps. The deck is done. All right, you ready to see this deck or what?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Colin! This is the best. Oh, and pergola. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's massive. This is great. And the 2 steps down. Now this is the dance floor.
I think it's bigger than your cottage, Patrice.
I bet you're right. I bet you're right. In fact, this deck will outlive the cottage. I love the color.
Yeah, it's made from what they wrap bales of hay, so it's ultraviolet resistant, it won't fade. It's made 100% of recycled plastic, and it's guaranteed for a long, long time. This, and combined with the natural...
The stairs, oh my gosh, you did the stairs.
This is a Patrice original design.
Oh my gosh, this is the best because I wanted to make sure that if somebody had a walker, they'd be able to come up. Did you put the stairs on this?
Yes, so they're there.
Look at this. 5.5-inch rise. This is outstanding.
Well, I think this is that danger spot where the deck was completely rotten and it was almost taking people's lives.
Yes.
So, well, now you could pretty much park a cement truck on this thing.
Yes, there is absolutely nothing going to go through this now. This is fabulous. Thank you, Colin. Thank you.
You know, you're fabulous, Patrice. What a girl.
You're the
Thank you
best.
so much. Nothing better than
Thanks.
working for someone who appreciates your work.
Oh my gosh.
The best.
You're the best.
You're the
Thanks.
best. Thank you.
Thanks. Look at this. What a job. You know, I thought these construction guys, sometimes they're so busy that they, one little detail would fall off the plate. And I have to admit, I was kind of looking for the detail that would have fallen off. Not one did.
I think it's incredible. It's amazing. It's better than I expected. I couldn't even visualize something so beautiful. It's tremendous. Now I'll invite everyone to come stand on the spot that I fell through, quite comfortably.
I want my grandchildren to be able to run up those stairs, run across the deck, up those stairs, fly in and out of the house. I want to hear screaming and yelling and nothing but happiness on that deck.
It's no longer a danger deck. I consider it now to be a luscious lounge. It's perfect.
It is a safe deck. It is a huge deck with a pergola. All right, let's get this table about halfway down the deck. We can probably put the Chesterfield L on this side, looking out. Where's the ottoman? Probably just a bit, 3/4 of the way down would be great.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I must say, I love the new...
Keep your feet down.
Sorry.